This is KGW News at 11.
Tonight on KGW News at 11, the latest on the teacher strike in the Portland Public School District. We just heard from district officials that students will not be back in class tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Gordon. Portland teachers will be back on the picket lines tomorrow morning after the union and the district failed to reach a deal tonight. That means all Portland public schools will be closed Monday morning. Without classes, families are relying on local organizations and nonprofits for childcare. Ashley Grams has the details.
For some Portland students, this November feels more like summer vacation.
Well, we have 45,000 kids right now that are out of school.
People were starting to ask if we had kind of an option for daycare.
Day camps are popping up across the metro area, giving students who are out of school due to the strike a place to go.
I think a lot of parents were pretty shocked that the strike went through, and I think there's a little bit of scrambling going on.
Eric Carlson is the director of Electronic Music Club. The group normally meets with students in over a dozen schools after class. But once the teacher strike started, the district closed schools and the club had to find another place to meet.
Thankfully, we've had a really great relationship with Unity of Portland, the church that's up the street, and we've done summer camps there before.
Vibe of Portland did the same thing, stepping in to offer day camps for PPS students.
Tomorrow, we've got a full day of 9 to 4 art camps for kids that aren't going to be in school.
Both Carlson and Markham say it's important for local organizations to support families.
There's such a need for it. I mean, we're helping out our community. So many parents have to go to work and suddenly they're without childcare.
It helps provide a little sense of continuity for children while this is kind of an uncertain and strange time for them.
You can find a list of day camps and childcare options at kgw.com. In Portland, I'm Ashley Grams, KGW News.
And the Portland Association of Teachers says it will be negotiating with the district tomorrow afternoon. Remember, teachers are asking for pay increases, smaller class sizes, and more planning time. But the district says it cannot afford to meet all the union demands. They've even called on state lawmakers to help with more money for the state's largest district. Again, negotiations go on tomorrow afternoon. Well, stay with us for continuing coverage of the strike. We'll update you as soon as we learn more about negotiations between the teachers union and PPS. Look for the latest on air on KGW.com and also on KGW Plus. Well, Yamhill County workers will be back on the picket lines tomorrow morning over what they're calling unfair wages. This will mark the third day of their strike. County workers are asking for wage increases that would allow them to be able to live in the county they work for. Many workers say they're not able to afford housing and basic necessities, and many are eligible for state assistance because of their current pay. The county says the union hasn't provided data to support their cost of living adjustments. It offered two options at bargaining sessions last week, but neither were accepted by the union. The county says it's working on contingency plans to limit impacts to critical services. Well, it looks like we're ending the weekend on a stormy note after seeing a dry and pretty quiet start to the day. Well, things really changed this afternoon with some really heavy downpours. There was some flooding you see there on Southwest Jefferson at 17th in the Goose Hollow neighborhood. And this is I-5 at Jansen Beach, and you can see that red car there. Just kind of, there he goes, fishtailing. Wow, hitting a little puddle there driving. So be sure to slow down when you're driving over that standing water wherever you are. So meteorologist Joe Ranieri joins us from the Weather Center. And Joe, do we get more storms tomorrow?
We certainly do, yeah. And the rain really isn't going to have any place to go because we're going to be seeing more on top of the rainfall that we've seen here in just the last few hours. It's a very kind of a tranquil start to the Sunday morning, very quiet. I think a lot of people were wondering, hey, didn't Joe say it was going to be heavy downpours? Yeah, I told you those heavy downpours pop up by the afternoon, and that's exactly what we saw. Here's the next system that will be moving on shore basically tonight and into tomorrow. And just expect to see an active run of weather heading into the early part of the week. We're talking some breezy conditions, some thunderstorms, some hail, and maybe some hail mixed in as well. Right now, we're looking from our Rose City camera with a temperature of 53 degrees. Winds are pretty light right now coming in from the east, but those winds will really start to pick up later on tomorrow morning into the afternoon. These are the rainfall amounts we've seen so far today. It's about 7/10 of an inch of rain at the Portland International Airport. And I did the math so far this month. We're closing in on close to 3 inches of rain. And the average for rainfall for the month of November is just over close to 5.5 inches of rain. Again, this orange color that you see, Tim, is a wind advisory that will go in effect starting tomorrow morning. I'll talk more about that and just how much wind are we talking and how breezy things will get for your Monday coming up in just a few minutes.
Wow. Okay. Thanks, Joe. We'll see you then. Well, Portland police are investigating a shooting in North Portland that left one woman dead in the Cathedral Park neighborhood. Police responded to a shooting early this morning around 5:30 on North Crawford Street and Alta Avenue. Officers found a woman dead there. No arrests have been made. Anyone with information is asked to call police. This is the 60th homicide in Portland this year. And 2 people are dead after being hit by a MAX train along I-84 late last night. This happened near Northeast 28th Avenue just after 9:30. Police say it looks like the 2 people were in a crash on the freeway. Investigators believe they then climbed over a TriMet barrier to pick up a car part, and that's when they were hit by the train. Well, TriMet closed the Washington Park MAX station all day for an emergency drill. This drill is meant to better prepare TriMet staff and first responders for a potential threat against the transit system. Today's practice events were an active attacker and a hazardous materials incident. This is TriMet's first full-scale drill in the Robertson Tunnel since 2014.
Giving police and fire and the first responders the opportunity to walk through these scenarios now when it's not an emergency really is for the benefit of the public.
Both the MAX red and blue lines will be disrupted for the remainder of the day. The red line will only run between Gateway Transit Center and PDX, and shuttle buses will run between Sunset Transit Center and Providence Park stations. TriMet says to plan extra time for your ride. Should all be back to normal tomorrow morning for the commute. Well, Gresham police need your help locating a missing person. The man you see right there, that's 81-year-old Robert Hubbard. He's been missing since yesterday afternoon. He was last seen at an assisted living home on Southeast 182nd Avenue. The staff there says that Hubbard is missing his anti-seizure medication, and he does have dementia. If you've seen Hubbard or know where he is, just call 911 and get him some help. Well, after nearly 5 decades, a dedicated Randall Children's Hospital nurse retires with no regrets and a lot of love for the pediatric healthcare field, which she helped change. Alma McCarty shares her story.
It's funny, you know, when you decide to what do you want to be when you grow up. I always loved the thought of being a nurse.
In 1974, Cindy Hill turned that dream into reality.
I thought I wanted to do adult critical care nursing, and then when I got there I loved it and I loved the adult patients, but when I started caring for children and babies and families, it was a calling.
A calling that started in January 1979 and would blossom into a fulfilling and ever-changing career with Legacy Health.
Wow, what an honor to be a nurse for almost, it'll be in June 50 years when I will have had my nursing license. There is nothing like it.
Cindy says she had no intention on climbing the ladder, but worked her way from nurse to nurse manager to, in 2008, chief nursing officer at Randall Children's Hospital.
Many things have changed. Many amazing things have changed.
She's seen things evolve in her 44 years here, from advances in medicine to help infants in the NICU to changes in cancer treatment for children. Cindy also says there's been a shift in the perception of the profession, more respect for nurses.
It was a hierarchical type of relationship back there then, and that is not present anymore. We're all on the same wavelength. We're all on the same stage. We all bring gifts to what we do in our disciplines.
For her, retirement isn't an easy choice.
It's hard to give up. It's hard to give up because purpose is important to me.
But she knows the pediatric healthcare world, especially at Randall Children's, is in good hands.
There were many that came before me, and thank you to all of you that did, and there'll be many that come after me, and thank you to those that will come after, because we're all wanting to do the right thing.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.